So many plugins. Okay, what are those plugins? We have mobile plugin, we have a web, we have API or web services. Okay, and now we are coming to cloud. Cloud also we have plugin, also called as virtualization. Okay, if you go in deep, actually it also supports embedded programming using Java. So these many plugins are there. Okay, but we can also develop a kind of what kind of application we can okay, develop some kind of thick client application, thick client applications. Okay, what are those applications? Okay, see, whatever the applications we are discussing about, actually these are console applications. Console applications. These are mainly for a testing. Whatever you are discussing, these are a console applications. Okay, see here I will show you. We have a hello world.java. Okay, yeah. Look at here. What is this program? Very simple program it is. It has a very simple method called hello world. Okay, hello world. If you simply execute this program, run as application, it simply prints hello world. That's all. It doesn't do anything. How it is printing? Look at this class. First, we have a package section. The packages contains whatever the packages we are going to use our current Java project. We have to include here. Or suppose if you want to include any classes which you are going to leverage, for example, import java.lang. Okay. So what is this actually? Remove unused import, because we are not at all using. That's why we are getting an error. Okay. So for suppose, okay, util dot start, just add it. So look at here. So we can add the required files. You see, still this also we are not using. If you want to remove, you can remove. What is this import keyword? Import keyword is used to import the required classes and packages for our class. Okay. Coming to the next line, public class hello world. This is a notation we follow to create a classes. Inside a class, we have a main method. See, most of the console applications has a main method. What is main method in Java? Main method in Java acts as an entry point for a program execution. Whatever you are going to enclose, whatever you are going to include the code inside a main method will be executed in runtime. How many lines of code we have? We have 2 lines of code, a.m and hello world. There is another class we have defined. For time being, please ignore how I am accessing these members variables and all. But if you look at the class, we have a main method. We have a single statement called system.out.println hello world. See, whatever you are going to place inside a main method will be executed in runtime. System.out.println hello world. That's why it just executed this program and shown the results in a console. Java application. Check your test results here. This is the icon to check the results. So this is what type of application it is? It is a console application. Okay, console application. Okay. So first of all, I want to show you how to create a project. First, go to File, go to Projects. There's so many projects you can create. We can create a Maven project, okay, enterprise application project, dynamic web project, okay, EJBeans, enterprise Java Beans, okay, connector project. But we never use all these models because we are testers. Okay, only Java developers will use all these options. Okay, that too, nobody will use all these options. For suppose Maven project, they never use, and even for EJBeans, they never use until unless they use a Java Beans technology. Enterprise application project, if you want to create, if they want to create any, okay, enterprise level Java application, they will use enterprise application project. Okay, then coming to static web page, if you want to create a static web page, you can do that here by using a static web page. You can create. Then coming to project, project, it can be any project. Then coming to servlet, if you're dealing with a dynamic web application at that to enterprise level application, we have to use a servlet. Session bean, manage driven bean. I never used all these plugins. Web services, as I said, by using Java, we can create mobile applications, we can create web services, and we can also create enterprise level applications. If you want to create a web service, definitely you can create by using a web service option. Coming to folder, if you want to create a folder, you can do that. Okay. Then coming to file, if you want to create a file, you can do that. Then coming to other, just click other and check here Java project. I'm going to create a Java project. Just click next. Project name. Okay. Type of Java applications. Java applications. See, I'm using a execution environment. Okay. Use project specific JRE. But don't select any option here. Sometimes your project doesn't work if you change. By default, whatever the default options are there, please simply keep those options as is. Don't change any options here. Just click Java settings. If you look at here, there are total 5 options are there. Project, library, order and export, and module dependencies. As a tester, again, we never use all these options. We use libraries. I will explain how to use libraries later. Not now. Later, I will explain how to use a library section. Coming to source folder, by default, Eclipse will create a folder called SRC. See, details. Create a new source folder. If you want to create a new one more source folder, you can do that. Add additional source. If you want to add a one more additional source file, you can do that. Add a project to a build path. If there are other projects, we need to run this current project. If you want to add those projects, you can do that. Okay. For time being, please ignore all these things. Just click next. Create a module.info.java file also not required. Just click next. Okay. Okay, dear, where is this type of Java project? In this project, okay, I'm just Control C. I'm just copying here. Okay. So default project has been created. Under default project, I'm just going to rename it. Okay. So how to rename? Nothing. If you just double click. Okay, just okay, with rename. Just right click, new, go to package. Cancel, it's not required. Just right click on SRC folder, go to new, package, type of applications. Okay, type of application, just drag and drop, and that's it. Okay, so I'm just going to delete this one, not required. Okay. Oh, done. Okay. Under type of application, we have only one class, that is hello world demo.class. Okay, I just want to create it is a console application. It's a plain console application. If you look at here, this is a plain console application. But suppose I want to create a thick client application, we can simply do it. But see, I know, okay, as a fresher, you can't understand the code, but it's not required also because we don't create any kind of application during testing. But I want to show you type of applications we can create. Just going to create a class. Okay, inside this class, I just want to create a thick client app. Okay, so thick client app, we need AWT. AWT is nothing but a abstract window toolkit that is required to create a project. Just click finish. Okay, inside this thick client app is there. We are going to extends frame. Okay, to use a frame class, actually we need to import certain packages. What are those packages? import
Java.
Java dot AWT dot star. That's it. Okay. So AWT is nothing but abstract window toolkit. So inside this, what we are doing, we are just creating a very simple function called first. Site first. Okay. So I'm going to create a object called button, button, button b equals to new button. Okay. Of click here. Okay, click here. Okay. So after that, I'm just going to set the boundaries here. B dot set bounds of, okay, 30, then 100, okay, from 80, comma, and next add of B, add of B. So we are just adding a button to the frame. We are just adding actually to B, so add of B, and then set size. We are setting the size to the frame. Okay, set size of 300 and a 300. Okay, and then set size. Okay, set, it is capital letter, that's why we are getting in error, size. Okay, set layout of null. There is no layout manager. Then set visible equal to true. Set visible equal to true. That's it. Very simple program. Yeah, set visible equal to true. Okay, and then we are going to have a main method here. Public static void main of string args. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to create a first. So sorry, this is actually the client. Control C. Okay. Yeah. That's it. A very simple program it is. Okay. So look at this program. We have written a very simple program that extends frame. So what is this architecture? But anyway, this is not relevant to testing, but I will explain what are these components in AWT. Java AWT components are platform dependents. Okay, these are platform dependents. Components are displayed according to the view of operating system. See, these view may different from Unix operating system to Mac operating system, from Mac operating system to Windows. Currently, we are using Windows system. So how this AWT works basically? So java.awt, here we are using it as a package. This package provides a lot of classes for AWT API. Basically, AWT is a application program interface. Okay, what are the classes it provides? AWT package provides so many classes. What are those? See, AWT, okay, provides text field. Okay, it also provides label, text area, and then radio button, and then checkbox, and then a choice, and a list. Okay, so these are the various objects we can use in a developing a thick client application, right? Thick client application can be used here. Okay, if you want to create a label, you can do it actually. If you want to create a radio button, you can do that. Okay, see, what is the hierarchy of the AWT classes? First hierarchy starts from object actually. Okay, first hierarchy starts from objects. Inside object we have components. Okay, inside component we have all these application objects. What are those application objects? These are the application objects. Okay, button. Okay. Oh, just a minute. Huh? Hello.
कुछ नहीं सोच रही हूँ.
Kusum. Kusum, am I audible? Kusum.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Actually, another class it got just postponed for half an hour today because
Okay.
of that. I could not schedule your session on time. Can you have our session at 3:30?
Sure,
So,
sir. Once it's got completed, just ping me. I'll join.
Yeah, sure. I will. Okay, ping you in a WhatsApp. You can join.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, fine. Thank you. Okay, where yes. Okay. So button, label, checkbox, choice, list. These are actually various objects comes under components. Okay. Inside container, there is another component called container. Container. Inside container, we have a different type of components again. What are those actually? We have a frame, dialog, okay, and windows. Okay. We also have one more thing actually, panel and applet. Okay, so applet is a derived class from panel. Again, frame and dialog, these are derived from windows, and other objects like component. Component is a child super class. Inside a component, you have a child class called button, label, checkbox, choice, list, container, and so on. Okay. I know a bit confusing for you, and the first class itself, I don't want to scare you, but these are not at all useful for testing. Now itself, I'm telling. This is basically, I just want to demonstrate a different type of applications you can create in Java. Okay, it's not at all useful for testing. Yeah. See, this is how it looks like. This is an applet. Okay, clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, coming to this applet, this actually we call as applet. Okay, we call this one as an applet. Why I'm not closing it? Wow, I'm not able to close it also. Close window. Okay, I'll stop here. Yeah. Okay, in this actually, in the entire applet programming, we have a container. Container is a kind of actually a parent class, super parent. The container is a component in AWT that contains other objects like a button, text field, window, and so on. And coming to window, window is the container again. Window is the container that have no border. And Windows does not have any border and a menu bar. And coming to panel, panel is again another container. Okay, it have only other components like a button, text field, and so on. Container, panel, window, and a frame. Frame is again another container that contains only title bar and have menu bars. Okay, so different methods are there. One is actually add. This is the add method. We can add a button. We can add an object to the frame. And similarly, if you want to add a set size, you can set a size, and you can set a layout. We can do that by using set layout. And make the object is visible. Then if you simply use a set visible equal to true, that is enough. It make a object is a visible. Okay. See how to do that actually. How to create a sample AWT program. First, we have to extend a frame. You have to extend a frame class. After that, we have to create an object for the frame class, and then we have to associate it. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is how we create a program. There is another way. There is another way. Actually, I just want to show you. one thing you can extend the program and you can do it. Otherwise you can simply create a frame inside this and okay, frame f equals to new frame. That's it. Okay. But what you have to do, you have to add a button. But here what we are doing, f dot size and so on you have to do. Okay. So add, yeah. If you don't want to extend a frame class, you have to give f dot. And here also you have to give f dot. And here also you have to give f dot. Here also you have to give f dot. That's it. Either you can extend a frame class, or otherwise you have to create an object for frame and then you have to add f dot set size, f dot set layout, f dot set visible, and so on. Okay, this is another approach. So this is how our thick client application looks like. Clear? So this is the thick client, that is a console program which we have created. Okay. And similarly, if you want to connect to a database, how do you connect to a database? How do you connect to a database? Actually, see, we can do a database programming using Java also. So first of all, you have to create a database instance. Okay, I'm just going to use a MS Access. This is an Access. MS Access also is a kind of a database. Okay, here we have a very simple database called employee1. Just look at here. Okay, so edit the content. Inside this we have a table, employee table. Just click here. See, we have a employee ID, name, address, mobile number, and so on. This is a table. I just want to retrieve this data in a program. How to do that? Can you tell me how to do this? Okay. Again, to create a database, to access the data from a database, what you have to do? We have a few classes required. What are those classes? That I'm just going to explain. Okay. So just give a second. Just want to check. I have created very long back. Okay. So this is a very simple program. What it is doing, basically, it is doing nothing. First, you have to connect it to the MS Access. This is the MS Access. We have to connect to the MS Access. After connecting to the MS Access, what you have to do? We have to provide the database name. What is the database name? The database name is in a C drive, test data, employee1.accdb. Is it correct or not? That we have to check. So this is how to check. Just right click. Okay, table properties. See here where it is located. Actually, it is located in a local and a table. Okay, but how to fetch the details? Let me check. This is employee1. Employee. There are two tables are there. Employee1. This is a table. Look at here. Where is this actually? It is inside C drive and test data. This is where employee1 table, I mean database is located. See, the same address you have to provide in your Java program. C test data employee1.accdb, and then we have to create a connection to this database. How to create? We have to create it by using an interface called JDBC, Java Database Connectivity. JDBC is an interface. By using this interface, we connect to the database. After that, we fetch the data, and then we can print the data. See, what is the data inside this data database? We have employee data table. Inside employee data table, we have a employee ID, email number. Okay, here this is the data: employee ID, address, mobile number, and so on. I just want to fetch this data. How to do that? See, look at this program. First and foremost thing, actually, we have to create a connection to the database. By using a driver manager.get connection, we can create a connection to the database. After that, what you are doing, we have to execute a query. What is a query? Select star from EMP. EMP is a table. From this table, we are just fetching the data. Select star from EMP, we are fetching our entire data. After that, we just printing it. Okay. Just right click, run as. Oh, what is actually this? Is I think a JUnit class. I think. Let me check. So yeah, it is a JUnit test. Before each, after each, and so on. That's fine, absolutely fine. Just here, right click, run configuration. Okay. So you can take JUnit. Yeah, here you can see the data. 123, 1345 Vasu and Ram. Okay. The same data is there inside this database. Okay. It's nothing. As a tester, you don't need to deal with all these things, but try to understand the scope of the Java is huge. But here in our curriculum, we are going to discuss how we are going to leverage Java with respect to testing. We can create a thin client applications like applets. We can create a thin client applications like web pages. We can also create database related applications like this. We can create a database and you can access the data through Java program. Okay, clear? Right. So we got an error, it seems, in this page. Let me see. Yeah, we have to import a JUnit framework. I'm just going to show you one example here. Here I'm using JUnit framework, but in JUnit framework, first of all, not added. How to add a JUnit framework? Just right click on the project, go to build path. Inside a build path, configure build path. Okay, add the required libraries. Just click JUnit library. Where is the library actually? Here under resources, linked resources. Okay, it's not there. Okay, Java build path. Okay, fine, no problem. You can add. Okay, just click add a library. Add library. Here you can see JUnit library. Just click JUnit. Just click next. Okay, JUnit 5, which we are using actually. So just click finish. Apply. Apply and close. That's all. See, errors are gone. Why? Because we are using JUnit packages. Until unless you add JUnit packages to the to the project, we can't access it. Now we are able to access. Okay. So this is how we are to create a different type of applications in Java. We can create a console application. You can create a thin client application. We can also create a database connectivity applications. Okay. Let me know if you have any questions. This is a very high level overview about the capabilities of Java. We can also create a dynamic web pages. Dynamic web pages. We can also create static web pages. We can also create an enterprise and application projects. That's also possible. Just click enterprise. Application project name. Okay, enterprise application demo. Okay. So what is actually application ER version? This is the framework. We have so many frameworks are there. You know, even if you go to C# or .NET framework, there are so many frameworks, .NET Core, .NET Razor, so many frameworks are there. To create a web-based applications, we need to add the particular AR version. Currently, we are using AR 6.0. Okay. Target runtime is not required, and then a default configuration. If you want to change the default configuration, you can do that. This is a default configuration for creating a ER level applications. Then click next. Okay. Here, yes. Tell me. Okay. So this is how we can create enterprise application demo, but I never worked. But I never worked any kind of ER level type of applications actually. So if you create automatically, what happens? It automatically deploy all the required jar files, which is required for your project. Inside that meta info, and these are the various pages you can see here. This is how it will create a enterprise application demo. Inside that, they will start creating the XML files, HTML pages. Okay. Inside this project, they will create one more folder called app. Inside a folder, they create a web pages. This is how actually enterprise applications works in a Java. But I never worked. I'm just going to delete this actually. Any question, just let me know. Along with that, we can create a different type of applications using Java. Okay, IDE. We can create a plugin project. We can create a Git project. We can create a Java. Inside Java here, you can see we can create class. We can create interface. We can create an ordinary Java project. We can also create a packages. We can also create a Java runtime and configuration files. And we can also create JUnit. Okay. Along with that, actually, we can create an enterprise edition files. Here you can see application client project, connector project, enterprise application project, and utility project. Okay. Enterprise client application is nothing but a front end. Enterprise application project is a back end. Connector project is basically it connects to the database and other web services. Okay. So this is how we create a different applications using a Java IDE. Not only this, actually, we have so many servers. Look at here. This is a server, built-in server. SQL development is there. For example, if you want to create a SQL file, we can do that by using SQL development. Okay. But this is a full-length programming, full-length Java development program. Actually, very complex. Just for timing, you can ignore. Okay. Coming to next topic in Java. Now we have seen how to create a sample Java project. We have created a sample Java project. Okay. See, what are the other components that are there in a Java? What are the other components? First, we'll start with the variables. What is variable? Tell me, what is variable? What is variable? Yes, anybody can just try. That's fine, absolutely fine. Okay, let me explain. These are the variables basically. These are the variables. First, we'll create an integer I equal to 10. What is I here? What is I here? I is a variable. I is basically a variable. We are assigning some value to 10. See, if whatever the variables we are creating, it might be a student name, okay, or a age, okay, or a gender, or a address. These are variables. Variable means what? It can hold some data into that variable. For example, if you declare a integer x equals to 10, what it means? We are creating a variable at the same time assigning the values, assigning a variable. Okay, so we are actually defining and assigning, and assigning a variable. How to define? Enter salary, sorry, float salary.